cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. He'll look to throw. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's caught downfield by Addison. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 34.
As my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Back to throw again. And he's got this to Jefferson. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. They've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again. Touchdown! Zach Charbonnet with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You look at this defense for the Vikings. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Here's a 2nd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for 33 and a first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. We were just talking about him pregame, 3 tackles for a loss last week. You thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And now here's a carry heading left. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll get to him short of the first down at about the 16. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and run for it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
4th and 2 in the NFL, not ordinarily a running down anymore. Usually that ball is moved through the air. They went ahead and gave it to the back, and he ends up picking up the first down. I'm not sure if they fooled him as much as they just did a nice job executing.
Needed 2, and they got 3. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 7. He's going to try and do this himself. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. They'll look to throw here. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. That'll lead to a 4th down. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
Second and a couple. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This is caught by Addison. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. The Vikings at 9-1 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll drop to throw. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go play action here on first down. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On second down, they'll run it here. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
So, my man, I pose this question to you. How do you get to be the number 2 defense against the rush in the NFL?
Be better than number 3, I guess.
Okay, right.
And make plays like that, right?
Well, you know, you're right. At its basic, be better than number 3, but you really nailed it. Make plays like that on a consistent basis.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. They're going to look to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Reed. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. They'll look to throw. It finds his receiver, Watson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. This one brought in by Jefferson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5. Complete to Addison on the out route. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter. And the half will begin with a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They'll set up a throw. And this one is incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And take it right on the 30. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
He'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. And now a handoff to Charbonnet.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
He gets it to Addison.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
And the Packers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives them a 1st and 10.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
65 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Right side to Watson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And this time he won't even make it back to the line of scrimmage as they stop him in his tracks. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Back to throw here. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
Now they'll start on the ground with Charbonnet. Stiff-armed him. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Zero hesitation that time. He just got it and put it out in the right flat. Unfortunately, incomplete.
Well, you know how hard these quarterbacks nowadays work on just getting the ball in their hands and making a quick decision and throwing the football. Didn't work out in this case.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 23. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw now on first down. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hockenson, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a fourth-quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On the toss to Charbonnet. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Again, it's Charbonnet. Running right through him, and he works free. He's still on his feet. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Zach Charbonnet with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Second and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out and let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else. It makes a dramatic play.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Second down, here's Charbonnet. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And now a design run with Jefferson. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
But when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
And they will take a knee here. And they'll indeed take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just